This is a testament to strength, love, weakness, real shit. I'm going to share with you my family's journey through cancer, how it's still impacting us today. It is a battle, not for one person, it's a battle for a tribe of people. Let's get into it.
So many things that I would want to say that I don't know that there's enough time in the day to say them. A biopsy done on my lymph node when I found out then my cancer was advanced stage anal adenocarcinoma. Stay off the internet. Go to the internet. You're pretty much guaranteed that you think you're gonna die. Can't say that I stayed off the internet. I did, and I wished I wouldn't have been on the internet because it's nothing good can come of it. Try and be strong for your kids. I almost think that I overshared because I put such a burden on you and your brother and sister. I almost wish I would have sheltered them a little bit more because I had no idea how scared they were too, but they always acted really strong. Learn that friends and family love you and that each one of them are going to react differently to cancer. One thing that I will say that I hated to hear, and I know that sounds so stupid, is when I would go to work or on the days that I would try to go to football games or basketball games, is when people say, you look great, you don't even look sick. With the type of cancer that I had, I didn't lose my hair. I lost 25 pounds coming from their heart, and I probably did look good considering what some people look like with cancer. But it makes you feel like people are almost like, oh my gosh, you're really not that sick. Moreover, gosh, please don't go to somebody with cancer and when you see them cry. That happened frequently too if someone would visit me at home and it was during the really, really sick times, because all that did was scare the living shit out of me and I was convinced that I was gonna die. Hold it in because it's hard to take. It takes all of your strength to fight for yourself, and worrying about others just makes it worse. So do your best to be strong and put on a strong face. But those people love me and I loved them and they were scared, and I get that they were scared, but gotta be brave. I remember flying home from MD Anderson and meeting a complete stranger, and I offered him some of my licorice. I typically don't talk to strangers on the plane, but he was just an outgoing, loving person that when you could feel that someone has light within them. He shares with me that he lost his wife to cervical cancer and that he was diagnosed with a rare cancer and was at MD Anderson several years ago and was on his deathbed and made it through. We exchanged phone numbers and he gave me hope. Even though he lost his wife to cancer and then 10 years later he was diagnosed with cancer, he gave me hope. I felt like I needed to listen because God kept sending signals to me that he was there. I remember coming home and he had sent me a book called Jesus is Calling, and he knew that I liked ice cream, and he knew when I was starting my radiation and my chemo, and he knew how bad it was gonna be, and he sent me cases of ice cream. Cases of ice cream from a stranger that you meet on a plane. That's not just human kindness, that's God working through somebody else. Chemo was bad, radiation was hell. So that you have the strength within you to do it, even though it'll feel like you don't. My number one tip for any cancer patient, especially if you're a female, is they had a class at Missouri Baptist called Look Good, Feel Better, which sounds kind of stupid, and it's not something that I decided very early on, is that every single day when I went to radiation, I would go every day at 9 in the morning and spend an hour there and do 30 minutes of radiation. What I learned was get up, eat, drink, put on a face of makeup. I had to always wear a dress for other reasons. Put your best face forward. Towards the very end, there were days that I was so sick and I was just... I remember telling your dad that I couldn't go. I just was done. I was giving up. I could not go. And my family refused to let me quit. And nope, get up, put your makeup on, let's go. And that sounds so trivial, but when you're looking in the mirror every time you go to the bathroom or wash your hands and you look at yourself and you look like you're dying, you're gonna feel like you're dying. And the mental piece of it is probably harder than the physical piece. It's every time your body goes and wants to quit and give out, your head has to say, no, keep going. Cancer is a roller coaster journey. I finished my 9 months of chemo. I finished my 6 weeks of radiation. I have been to the doctor and the hospital more times than any human will probably go to in their entire lifespan. And now you wait. You anxiously wait to see, is this cancer gone? All of this treatment and misery. Anticipation. So fly to MD Anderson, have a scan in December, and go into the doctor's office with Abe, and we're holding hands to be told the news that knocked me off my chair. You are currently NED, which means no evidence of disease. Abe and I literally cried with excitement, and it was the most amazing feeling in the world that all of my fighting paid off. Stayed at a great hotel in Texas, and we had a bellboy who we had told that I was going to get my cancer results, and when we shared with him that I was cancer free, he sent champagne and chocolates to the room. It was just such a burden had been lifted off our chests, and you finally think, wow, life is back. I can go on with my life. We flew from Texas to Mexico and celebrated for a week, and we threw a huge party with all of our friends and family at the country club. And it was so much fun. We danced the night away to Latin music, and it was a great time. It was absolutely wonderful. It was the next phase of the roller coaster. My cancer had returned in less than 6 weeks. Words cannot describe. If I were a man, I would say I got kicked in the balls, because I literally was kicked in the stomach. All of the wind was taken out of me, and it was the most heartbreaking of all. As a cancer patient, thought out my funeral, thought out all the things that I wanted to happen after I passed away. The biggest fear that I've always had is, how will my family survive without me? I'm saddened by how they will feel. Instead, I have learned, and I continue to learn on this journey, that I just have to not think about that. I've done the best job that I can with my kiddos.
It's amazing, Gabriella Rezex, that you would think about creating a video that may help somebody struggling with their journey. My hope is that my video, my comments, my thoughts, my experience can help some of you deal with it, whether you have it yourself or you're somebody taking care of a loved one, watching them struggle and in pain. But believe it or not, there is a lot that came out of it that was good, that made me and my family reflect and be appreciative for all the blessings that we have. First, it's normal to say, why me? To be angry, to cry, to be shocked, to reflect back in your life and see if did I do something wrong? Am I being punished? The reality of it is that it's life. And life is beautiful, but there are parts of our destiny and our destination and our journey that are rough in nature. This is one of those. But again, it's not all bad. My wife was diagnosed with cancer about 18 months ago. I remember the phone call. I remember the day we found out, like it was yesterday. And it was shocking. I was angry. I did all the things you would expect. I asked the good Lord to give it to me. Why her? Let me handle it. Because I thought I could handle it better than she could. Boy, was I wrong. One of the good things that came out of this is that I was reminded of how strong my wife is. The other positive things, I was reminded of how blessed we are with our family and our friends, and the love that came out of it. You don't recognize it. You go through life thinking you're doing great things, and that you're associating your people with good people, or yourself with good people rather. And boy, does something like this really reinforce there's a lot of good people out there. We were overwhelmed with love and caring. So that was good. The other good thing is you stop and you really think about the things that really matter. Not the car that you drive, not the big house, not the money you have in the bank account, but the true blessings that you have, which is family, friends, and it makes you appreciate more. I feel that I'm a much better husband, father, son, brother than I was before the disease. My wife, happy to say, she won her battle with cancer. She has been cancer-free for a few months now, and so we continue in our journey and hope that every scan comes out positive, and know that if it comes back, we will continue to fight. So I guess what I will tell you and what I would like to share with you is that you are never alone in this fight. There's thousands, millions of us either dealing with the disease ourselves, specifically and personally, or taking care of a loved one. If you're dealing with it yourself, be strong. Know that you have a lot of people that love you and will always be there for you. Don't ever feel alone, because you're not. If you are a caregiver, I know it's hard to watch your loved one fight, but be strong with your loved one. And at the same time, don't be afraid to show your feelings. Sometimes I try to be too strong, and it almost seemed that I wasn't fazed by it. The truth of the matter is that I was greatly affected by it. Again, learn a lot about myself as well. I relied heavily on my faith. I felt that God was always with us, and that God will take care of us. It's true what they say. God doesn't send you anything you can't handle. But you don't have to be religious to defeat this disease. Find your group, find support, find a friend or friends, and rely on them. Don't be ashamed of asking for help. Ask for help, accept the love, and embrace the love that others are going to pour you with, because there's a lot of love to pass around. More importantly, remember, you're not alone. I say a prayer every night for everybody that has it, this terrible disease, the people that are taken care of, the people that have it, and the people that may not know they have it, but they're about to find out. See, we're not alone. We are in this together. Find your comfort, find your peace, and never, ever give up. I'll leave you with this quote, one of my favorite ones of late. It goes a little like this. The devil reached in my ear and whispered in my ear, "You're not strong enough to withstand the storm." And I thought about it. A couple days later, I went back to the devil and I whispered in his ear, "I am the storm." God bless you, and I hope this video helps somebody out there. Be strong.
Cancer is a part of my story. It's a part of a story that deserves to be told. My only reason for sharing my story is that I hope by sharing my story, a part of my story, a part of my family's story, that it will impact one single person. If I can impact one person through my video, through my message, through my story, I've done my job. That's what this is about. I was in church last weekend and the pastor gave a really great example of a salesman. And many of you have probably heard this before, but the salesman was saying to his manager, you know, I pitch all of our selling points, I give them a great deal, and right when I'm getting up to sell the car, for example, right when I'm going to close the deal, it falls through. And I'm doing everything right. And the employee says to his manager, well, I guess the saying's true. You can walk the horse to the water, but you can't force him to drink. And the manager says, well, no, that's where you're wrong. You don't have to force the horse to drink. You have to create a thirst within the horse. Your job is to make the horse thirsty, not to force the horse to drink. My sharing of my story and my message is to create a thirst in people. Create a thirst for love, create a thirst for passion, create a thirst for humility, create a thirst for living life to the fullest. Living your life in a way that you feel truly fulfilled. That's my one mission and one goal. I want to make you thirsty for life. So I hope that this video creates a thirst within you. I hope that I can make one person thirsty for life. Because when you have a thirst for life, nothing will stop you. Be thirsty for life. Be thirsty for love. Be thirsty for passion. Be thirsty for your happiness. I want to create a thirst in you.